Hello, everyone. I didn't mean to sound like a ghost then, but hello, everyone. Welcome to Concordia Consularis, the spiritual and business agency of peace. Hello, Michael, joining us already there. How are you doing? We are today, everybody, going to be looking at and examining the psyops on Earth today. The external worlds are just being bombarded with all kinds of nonsense. Hi, Harrison. How are you doing?
Hi Angela, hi people. I'm doing fantastic. Just chilling here and looking forward to what you're gonna achieve today and
Very good.
see the tremendous changes and energy that we can bring through and explore and expand this experience that you're having here today.
Very well put, Harrison. So, those of you might have seen our previous video. We really opened the bag and it's all coming out. So, rest assured, this illusion that you're experiencing, this dense bombarding of propaganda from all sides that seek to control you and dominate your thoughts. So, today in the Spiritual Course of Equity, we would like to invite all souls present, all the star elders, all souls, all cultures, all races, and continue on with our spiritual works in these moments. And everybody's coming in. We've got quite a joyous bunch coming in there,
Yep.
which is really great to see. They're full of gusto. Okay. So welcome to everybody in the court. We are operating a spiritual court that basically rules above the spiritual, the physical 3D reality court system on Earth, which is not the correct method for remedy and resolve for every soul. It might help in some way, but it's all about punishment and consequences. So every soul must realize its own path, and that is to embrace it. And you might not know what that is, but these times require your bravery. And because this is a spiritual battle for the races on Earth, the resources on Earth, and we've been here time and time again. So what we are doing here is, in a separate part of the court, we're going to be bringing in the, let's just say, the controllers of 3D media thought. Let's start there. Who have we got coming in? Right, so of course it's expected these types of beings do not want resolution on some level, but there's a portion of them that have already engaged with it, not to the fullest, but it is present nonetheless. So, Harrison, let me know what you're observing.
Um, what I'm seeing are these tall beings, very egoistical and like there's a way they talk, there's a way they present themselves. So the way they present themselves, it's quite key. And the way they phrase their words, it's quite important and paramount to the agendas they push forward. They believe themselves to be the masters of language, masters of expression, and the art of writing. And then from there, that is why they advance into being controllers of narrative and whatever different souls consume. And they know very well that currently in our planet, we rely heavily on our five senses. And these five senses can be easily manipulated because of the way our natural or inherent brain, the way it works. Technically, if you pass in a certain place and then you ask someone how many people did you see or how did they dress, it will be challenging for people to describe what they saw. And it's not because they didn't see, it's because their brain filtered so much information out. And they use that for manipulation and controlling of narratives where they mix truths, misinformation, and then manipulate it into the direction they go. And this bunch of people are quite key. Let's say in other words, it's like they sit on the high table with the elites. So they're the same group, and they have a very huge and major say. You might see their work as not important, but in every single work that is being implemented out here in our reality, they are the agents that tell us how these projects are going. And it's like they are the teachers who give the scorecard, and they grade you. So once the moment they have come into this school, they come with this high stature, and they believe they can report whatever they want. So it's like a collusion that happens. So if they don't like you and you're not part of their group or want you, that's the end of you.
basically.
Yeah.
And even if they do own you, you'll never get what they promise.
Yeah, they will use you. And the moment
They,
that situation arises where they have to throw someone under the bus, they sacrifice you before they sacrifice themselves.
and we're seeing it all play out before us in this
Yeah.
giant
Eh,
ritualistic spiritual war. And I really thought we'd move beyond this, but look, that it was all a matter of the timings, the explosion in the timelines to set humanity on this course. Now, an opportunity is presented today for every soul group, every race on earth who has been operating under the influence of the dark, souls that will just not even care if they kill your children and ruin your life. They won't. They'll find a way to do it through the people you love. So every single light line through the soul groups that is here established on earth that maybe is spiritually strong enough here to do what they came here to do. So when we started physicals, Harrison was with me in the first spiritual court of equity. He came on. God, I have no idea how long that was ago. 3 years?
yeah, that was back in 2021.
Right. 4 years.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah,
Right. And it's been a crazy old time. And the first thing we did with Harrison is that he wanted to look at his lineage and what had happened. And we started a process. But today, what we did for Harrison in that episode, we're going to do for every race on earth in this month. Just defrag the toxic psychological impacts from every soul group. And it's already starting to happen. They've already taken over. And this is what those that operate in duality, those beings, those control networks, the projection. Oh, I forgot the hologram has got to be broken today. So
yeah.
look, what system doesn't realize is the spiritual power of every single individual. They're banking on you failing. They really are. Because if you fail as a soul on earth, they win. And I know I can feel every soul group there going, oh, we can't have that. Oh. Feel that? There was a gentle
Yeah.
sort of, I'm not doing that, and I know. And this is
Yeah.
what the consularis is here to give you a hand, right? I benefited from working with these techniques so much in my life that there are earth creator source techniques, right? And we have these abilities. So let's let every
Yeah.
soul get online, right? We're going to harness all of us. Everyone that dips in, scrolls past, doesn't believe, still getting a healing because it's all of humanity, every soul incarnated. And we're doing this at forensic level, this audit. So let's just let go. If you want to make a comment, you're watching this, just let me know what you're feeling. That would be lovely. We have. Yeah, thank you, Mike. I'm just looking at while we're just getting everything prepared. Hello, Maya Rose. Hello, Michael.
Hmm.
And to anyone else that has not said hello or whatever. So, all your light lines, control networks.
Yep.
So, bit by bit, what's happening with the darker lineages that are basically working for forces unseen that are trying to hijack your light. Just have a bit as well.
What
This
I
is
see, it's
yeah,
like a complex structure that's being presented here where they work in different levels and layers.
yeah,
And each different level and layer has a key group that's in charge of that and how that is implemented and achieved. And the whole managers of this process are the people who would call the controllers of information or the media, because at the end of it's about changing the perception, changing the narrative, and thinking in tandem on or unison with whatever they want to manifest and achieve. So these guys come up with storylines with the way they present and the way they create this. It is in such a way where when the karmic repercussions or impacts start coming back, it can't get to them because they have placed it in such a way or they have operated in such a way. Karma goes to the actual implementers of
right,
these projects and ideas. But in reality, these implementers are not the real originators of the thoughts or whatever agenda is being pushed, because they operate in kind of cocoons. One group doesn't know what the other group is doing, or whatever. They might know the short-term objective of the agenda they are implementing, but on average, what I'm seeing is that the larger picture is quite hidden from them, and this is left on for the top brass of this group. And the moment this information is being presented at the court, it's like uh, uh, it's when you catch someone in a lie, and then they bring out a bunch of papers and say, look, you agreed to this,
yeah,
we can
fine.
do this.
We can not agree at any time.
Yeah, and they know that people can reject this situation at any time. So they have structured these laws in such kind of a way. If plan A fails, plan B kicks in. Like they have a series of procedures they
Plenty.
follow.
Mhm.
And the main, because as I look at this procedure, let me call it a procedure form, the main objective of this procedure form is not to get any karmic repercussions and to make sure that the goals that this system of domination and control has is implemented fully without any without any objection or hindrances or um or something that will come back to bite the systems. Let me put it in such kind of a way.
It really is. So I'm just looking at those bite points, as you would, because look, they know that it is game over, right? At a soul level, at a projected human level, all their polls would dictate everything to anyone that's being censored. Of course, and I'm really don't care about that because we're beyond that. So look, we're just going to include the lessons that they must learn. I'm just explaining. Your time is over. And it's not just me saying it, I'm just the facilitator. So, every soul, do they agree to these terms and conditions to be receiving this projection? And what we're going to see is similar statistics before. Every time we got to the poll at the end by all the soul groups, individuals, everybody incarnated on Earth today. 7 billion, 8 billion, 9 billion. Lovely number. So, what is the consensus of all souls?
So the souls, from this perspective, it's like they are seeing what is happening, and it's like they have been hammered, or the way the perception is being received by the physical body is being interfered with, and they have not given permission for this. And one
Right.
thing that I have said is that there are those people who we call the useful idiots who will want to push for this narrative to continue because they are getting something from the system,
Mm.
even if it's hurtful or destroying the people they don't care, as long as it's benefiting them,
Yeah.
they can throw the rest of the population under the bus. And what I'm saying is that those people who want to continue perpetuating these ideas and narratives and actions,
Mm.
they can live off our planet and they can go off in a place where they can all experience this reality. And in reality is that they don't experience this because, like, for example, I would like to take people back to during the lockdown period. That was between 2020 and 2021-ish kind of timeline. And you could see these programs the government would come and implement where people would not be seeing their families, they will not be having interactions, only to find the leaders who are creating these laws, they were having parties and attending birthday parties and doing some weird funny kind of activities that you yourself you are told you cannot do. So the way they structure the law, it cannot affect them, but it will affect you. So if you sit there in silence thinking that that because this person belongs to your soul group or your soul family, and that you need to shield this person, it's gonna ruin you, it's gonna ruin the rest of the soul group, and everything that you're working for
Yes,
is
as a
gonna
group.
come, yeah,
Mm.
it's gonna
Mm.
crumble
Yeah.
because there's one person who
D-
will throw the rest of you under the bus if the right
yes.
price comes along.
Now, this is the demise of tribal society. This was already in operation. And this is the continued MO time and time again, where people will sell out their own people So all soul sellouts step forward across time and space, out of every lineage and culture. Every star ancestor, elder, ancient is here. A few uncomfortable ones there.
Yeah, I can see the shame in their face
Right, so
when the
own
light
up.
is blown and the light is blown to their actions, and they have these trillions and trillions of beings looking at them.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Thank you. Right, the ancient ones are dealing. And this type of shame is transferred through the lineages, those specific lineages. Right, so we've got 40% of dark lineages. It's just moving through. I just want to ensure all trickery of a negative magical kind. But also, I want the technology. So the control panels from the 17, can you just advise me what's going on there, please? The boxes.
Um,
I shouldn't laugh. I'm just watching it ramp up and go. And, you know,
yeah,
for someone like me, I've waited all my living existence for these moments. And I'm sure you have too.
yeah, like it's not easy coming from lifetime to lifetime with all these conditions being institutionalized. So whenever you think you're working on them and you leave the planet, there's an institution that is there making sure that it's perpetuated all through. And now we are at an optimal time where we can crash this system and cripple it and make sure that these systems are not perpetuated to our future generations. And this is quite key. And the system of domination and controls understand this, and it's their own undoing because they created the internet that we have. They have created these things that make people come closer together and share ideas. And in their own mind, they believed they can allow people to come, and then once everybody is there, they can lock down the system and capture everybody. And now you have billions of beings who are out creating you in each and every single level, showing that even if you try to censor this, another idea just crops up and
Yeah.
the information gets passed. So looking at at this code, it's like all these people who are working on for the darkness or to maintain the system of domination and control, it's like
And
they have been
suppressor.
caught, yeah, with their hands in a cookie jar, and everybody is seeing them. And not just seeing them, they are seeing the way they perpetuate their ideologies. They are understanding that process. They are having this inner knowingness within themselves. And it's like a core kind of knowingness in each and every single soul. And it's vibrating, and the way it manifests in our reality, it might comes as protests, people protesting against these tyrannical ideologies that are being implemented, or in any other way, form, or shape that we have not even thought of. And the system is really, really afraid why these ideas are being put out there. So, and right now, what they are doing is that they are just grouping it in one thing they are calling it Gen Zs expressing themselves, but they know these are very powerful souls who have incarnated, and this is why our old dear good friend Billy has a great idea for addressing children, and he is being seen through, and in each and every single country he is visiting, people are screaming, asking for his prosecution, and he can't hide his face or try the old narrative of sanitizing your name by creating a foundation that sells you as the savior of the
Mm-hmm.
planet. It's not
Yeah.
working.
Yeah.
And also to add to that, I can see also how the AI is playing a huge major role into this kind of implementation
Let's go for
because,
the hubs.
yeah,
Just going for that.
and you can see right now they are allowing a lot of people to understand how this AI is being created. But now they are reaching a point where they want to control it. So they are creating these robots that's gonna take the education from the people to know, to have the ability to code, to have the ability to questions those lines, and to leave that technology across
Yeah. Across the
a few
iPad
elites.
nation.
Yeah, and the way I'm being shown right now, it's what has been perpetuated across eons. What I'm being told is to look at, I'm being driven into the like continent of Africa. For a long time, it has been known as the producer of raw materials. And once Africa produces this raw material, fetches very low prices
Mm-hmm.
because the markets are manipulated, and they have a very difficult time to be able to progress themselves because they don't have the financial resources that
They
is
need
needed for
for
them to grow.
mechanization.
Yeah, and if anybody comes with a mechanization idea or how to harness those raw materials much better, they get nuked or killed, and or the idea gets demonized. And the person who doesn't have the idea or the resources makes more money than the person who has the commodity, and now that's how they suppress this region. And this is the same thing that I'm seeing in this, well, in this court where they are using AI and all these things where the originators of realities to explore and expression, it's being called they're producing the raw product. And then after that raw product is produced, the system collects that raw product, monetizes it, and resells it back to the same community and crushes any resistance, any person who tries to question. And if an idea that threatens the system crops up and they cannot be able to navigate to crush it, they tend to embrace it. And then after they have embraced it and people are not looking, they own the entire process, kicking the originator of that idea. And then they manipulate it, and the end product people end up having, it's a different version than what the original creator was creating that technology from. And this is where they manipulate, and this is why it's key to have this media elite to be able
Yeah.
to push these kind of narratives.
It
And
needs a mouthpiece.
yeah, and they are being seen at every single level, and they're not liking it. And I'm saying they don't have to like it, they just have to leave us alone.
Look, where there's light, let's shine it in that external basis of reality. So look, every soul, how are they doing there? How do they feel to you? in this
What I'm
process of elimination of the toxicity from the psyop, because it's trauma-based mind control at the very core, on a personal level, on a soul level, on a national level, on an international level, and now it's heading and creeping into the arena of the universal level, because
yeah,
that is what they're trying to do with your spiritual energies, is get you to believe their words. Well, the fastest way to deprogram a belief system, I do not believe anything you say to me, because it doesn't resonate in truth. It just hooks into whatever ones and zeros you've got going on for the day. And then YouTube will read those ones and zeros, start sending you more of the same. Combine that with an internet organism that is sucking up all that data and spitting it out at you. Designed for the program of your super computer, super intelligent physical biological function as a soul. Can't be beaten. So look, let's have a look at these dark influences. Where I go dark, because they suppress goodness in this light and the souls of people. Why should we have that? Why should we tolerate that? So we don't. And it's a very sacred process of revealing the true light from the darkness that has been absorbed by the humans on Earth today. Because really, if you knew what they did to you and your family across time, you'd be like, not doing this. Right, really? But you are so entrenched. So there'll be technological things that are keeping you locked into that framework. And I'm just thinking of Maya Rose here. She experienced such heavy, dense bombardment through that lineage, that German lineage, that had experimented everywhere on this earth in groups. And as a result, she developed Morgellons. And that was a result of the multi-dimensional influences and non-human influences to the human DNA structure as a form of a battery pack. So really, it literally is phones and battery packs. How long will it last? How many applications have you got? What signal are you receiving? Are you receiving a weak digital frequency, long wave, medium wave, short wave, or through a cable, pulsing light? What is it? Or are you accepting your divine being through the body? What's your signal? What are you broadcasting on? So Harrison, right? There's a lot of technology that is being, not from here, being projected into the reality. And we're seeing these elites in these positions that are crumbling. They don't know why, but they're suddenly panicking. There is a panic that's gone out amongst them all. So, Harrison, could you observe the court again for me, please, and just advise me of the status of the soul groups, star elders, the traitors, the magic section.
yeah, that
Okay,
too.
the brujo section. Come on, let's have it. You know, don't
Well,
stay in the shadows hiding.
yeah, what I'm seeing, it's like a separation of densities where it's like there are those people, no matter what happens, they will support that structure. Like um I don't know if it's that's how they got contracted, or it's low experiences they have, or what's up with them. And it's like
Yeah,
I saw this separation where they go on one side and the other group goes on the other side. And if you want to perpetuate that, I don't know how long you're gonna be able to maintain that because before you're kicked off this
Right.
reality.
So you see Bill Gates recently in the projected propaganda media has a message. He needs to say, I'm a good person. I'm going to give all my resources to Africa. He looked rather quiet, pensive is the word, as part of using, because his PR is shot to pieces globally, isn't it? Really, when you think about it, at a very common sense level. And he's got a bit of making up to do to Africa, but having basically been part of the conglomerates that have gone in, affected the DNA of the people there, and tried to tell them that they're a bunch of weaklings and that they need his vaccines and
Yeah.
programs and healthcare and education, and the list is endless. This has already happened in the scene with him at the World Health Organization. So what we're seeing actually is we're seeing these organizations and institutions that the elites use as a method of, you know, nitpicking every single detail of your life. And if you look at them all, sorry guys, you're not the brightest bunch. It shows because you can't pay attention to what you're doing, engaging in red tape, long and lengthy administrative processes while actually doing nothing. And that is a truth. And when you apply that to those pharmaceutical institutions, war-based institutions, governments, and mystery programs that went wrong and diverted the information, and all the wizardry games and trickery that have gone on, been embedded in the soul psyche, it's time for it to go. We are in times where consciousness is increasing, and that system would not love nothing more than to dominate your thinking for its own worth and value. And you're being lied to every day. So when you don't believe in everything that's going on in the external media world, what do? You look at your own reference points from within. You need to be in that zone whole. You need to be spiritually on top of things, physically on top of things, and mentally on top of things in order to stay human. Otherwise, you will be sucking on the nipple of artificial intelligence, infusing it into your light body system, because you can't be human. You're afraid. Little hidden system message going out there to all those in domination and control. And do you know what? The bellows of domination and control up there to see you as you think you're a part of humanity. This approach through the system, Consularis Concordia, is probably one of few people that can help you get through it. And whether you have a spiritual illness, an energy problem with your karmic output, what I mean by that is you're doing really, really awful with your energy audits, right? And what do I mean by that? We need to balance your spiritual books, because if you're holding yourself back, you're holding evolution back. And that could be a digital implant, that could be a thought process, a ones and zero belief system that no longer serves these times. So we can help you get in touch, book the session. And very soon, this court is going to form the basis for much faster resolutions, because the souls have been blocked. So Harrison, what percentage of the souls in the spiritual court have had this successful toxic removal, because all these thoughts that are toxic basically affect your body.
Okay,
It's like
fast forward, so yeah, yeah, I
disease.
fast, yeah, fast forward, so 53%, and then I saw it shooting up. So I think it's increasing at a very high rate where it's now approaching 80, 81, like it's increasing at a very high rate, and people are just removing all these propaganda stories within themselves and at a soul level. So in reality, it's gonna manifest in different ways. It's like an inner knowingness people are gonna have, or people putting the story or adding 1 plus 1 and finding that story is not true. It's like it's gonna manifest in different ways, but from the soul perspective, this knowingness is vibrating at a very high rate, at a rate that even the system doesn't want or would not want people to vibrate at. But there's nothing they can do.
Yeah.
It has been coming, and I can also see like there's a lot of support structure, even from our son, that's assisting in this kind of decoding these hideous narratives that are being pushed. And some people might feel it's like the sun burning their skin, but it's the body absorbing this information where they come to to the realization that the life they live, it's being created somewhere else, and you're just like a rubber stamp following the narrative that has been created out there. And when this ideology starts to crumble, like for example in the situation of Nepal, where people started asking questions, I was told to get the education, I got the education. I was told to do this, I did that. But I can see people who didn't get the education, people who don't deserve it, they are having it all in this system, and all you have to do is just be a child of a politician of or a senior person, and they are being called these Nepal babies, and they are bragging on social media of how their life was good by posting themselves there with these like luxurious items, and people are languishing in poverty in that country, and people snapped. And coming to Africa, this is the opulence that's being displayed by the politicians, where they wear clothes that, and the value of even one attire of clothes can be the salary of that of an individual in that country, maybe for 2 years. And people are seeing that, and they are not having any of that because they are very young, they are very educated, they are seeing what's happening, and they are starting to question. And we are gonna see increased demand of sovereignty from these people, and it's not going to rest well with the system of domination and control, because the only way they have to survive is when you have a dormant civilization that's highly skilled, that you can plug into and suck off their energy. And once that highly skilled population becomes knowledgeable, it becomes a problem. Like, for example, if you look at the story of Anunnaki and the Egigi and how the revolt came, it's the same scenario playing out here.
It is. In Haiti, 250 years ago, it was the same.
Yeah, it's the same
And
thing.
yeah, look, and they've come to achieve the same thing, to deliver the message. I'm just not doing that anymore.
Yeah, you can see how the system has been trying to drum war onto everybody, trying to um project this nuclear war on each and every single person to project fear. And people are saying, no, I'm not gonna fight for your cause. I don't care. They're trying to draft people into the military, and people are saying, no, draft your own children.
Yeah. And most importantly, what we are seeing is this transition into extreme patriotism,
Yeah. And also that is gonna reach a
nationalism. It will.
yeah,
It will reach the
yeah,
point.
and
It,
people are gonna ask, no, this is not what we thought we want. We want something else.
it's true. And I hope and pray this happens in good old Blighty. The country is ripe for a revolution because it didn't take place in the 16th, 17th century, and it should have done. It was a hoodwink
Yeah.
hoax into that age of being, the age of engines and industry. And now we're in at the beginning of COVID. The British government said we are in the fourth technological age.
Yeah, just hope we don't see the king's head on a pike because in these scenarios,
The name's
very
got a
easy.
bad reputation.
Yeah,
Whoever
eh,
has the name Charles goes down.
yeah, people are not gonna have it.
Just
Like,
saying, it's not me, it's the story of the domination and control network. But look, I will actually, in this moment, I'm going to reiterate something to British people who feel that I'm supporting a side. Some people think I'm a liberal because I don't support government institutions or royals. I don't have a dependency on their need to be there in my existence. But there are many people that do. Look, I'm all about live and let live, right? I'm all about fly your flag, beat your drum, do what you need to do. But do not think for a moment that you're going to coin me, my political or non political opinion into dual context on a national level. It just isn't going to happen. Because if you
yeah,
really did your work and you know the story, what happened to your ancestors when they had their land rights stripped away from them throughout the 11th, 12th century, you forgot and you became complacent. That's why we're here in 2025 and you're having this response now. Why didn't you do it back then? Why didn't your ancestors do it back then?
yeah, and
So, to those, I have the same spirit that gets us through. So, don't be telling me about that. It's not going to work. From a practical observational perspective, I suggest you go and get a computer game. It's called Number 10. It was released in 1980. And figure out that computation from Sir Clive Sinclair, and that will tell you the story of the political system in the UK. Thank you. Just had to add that in there. Anyway, look,
Mhm.
so look and do a quick review because everything started moving and the court became more peaceful. We've
Yeah,
reached a certain level, I feel, but I will, if you could just observe it, and then we're going to hit the final nail into this projection.
I think from the majority of the people or the souls that are here, the groups, the soul groups, soul families, lineages, ancestry, they see what's happening, they don't support it through their sovereign free will, they are they're shining their light. And right now what's happening, I'm seeing them driving these nails and knives through different body parts of the system of domination and control. And what I'm seeing, or the projection they are putting up of the future, it's like the system is gonna disintegrate, break down in such a way that it cannot carry itself to the future generations using the same laws of karma or karmic debt and passing this debt to future generations. So it's a huge workload that's happening here, and it's gonna take time to unravel. But from the souls, the process has already been initiated. It's going through, and it might manifest in many different ways. We might see it as chaos in our own eyes.
But it's not
Some,
the
yeah,
chaos
we
of
may
the
not,
souls, it's the chaos of the system.
yeah, some people may not understand it because they might question, because I'm being told there's this word that the system use, safe for the children or safe for the population. They
Yeah.
tend to use that word because it triggers a mechanism in different people, where if you're talking of safety, it should be done. Like, to just play this scenario to our viewers, you can take yourself back into 2001 when um it was said that there were some terrorists that hit the Twin Towers in United States. And for the safety of the United States people, the government went to war in Iraq in response of that action. And through that process, millions of people were injured and displaced, thousands were killed, and trillions of dollars and energy was siphoned and sucked out from the population to support this ideology. And then years later, the stories that are emerging, that are coming out and emerging, and the analysis people have seen, it's just a hoax. It's just another propaganda story that was projected.
And
And the
another one. And
culprits,
another
yeah,
one.
and the culprits are walking scot-free. There are no
Yeah.
repercussion in this reality that we are seeing. And this is what the people, the souls are saying no more. We are not going to accept this. And you can see some form of manifestation in it in our reality, where our young people are refusing to go to the military.
Mm.
Our young people are refusing to take
Yeah.
some career paths and saying, nah, I'm not going to do that. And these different ideologies that are being tried to be pushed onto the people, people are smart enough to realize what's happening, and people are saying no.
Right.
And governments are having a difficult time to operate. And what they are doing is what I'm calling sanitizing their name, where you could find there's an ideology that's happening in a country, but the way they portray to the rest of the population is the reverse of that, because they are sanitizing the information coming out of that country.
Yeah. Which is basically censorship. So
Yeah.
look, in that's and making it easy for the stupid people. That's how they think. So look, so I'm going to want to take this spiritual core to a whole different level today. We need a little bit of whole different level to elevate us as humans, living souls, out of the Maya that they created for you and the shadows created for yourselves to sabotage you, your spiritual journey. So every soul in this spiritual court of equity, every group, every family, I invite you to activate fully with your ancestors of light. I get all happy and excited about that. To start using your spiritual gifts and skills at a soul level in this moment. To start breaking down this programming in consciousness in your lineages, every soul together as one. And I'm going to accelerate the contract removal process. None of these souls, and I'm going to speak on behalf of all, None of these souls permitted your negative technology in their bodies. You did it all under force and duress and lying. That's not
Yeah.
being of truth. That's not creator. That's not prime creator. So all of this is going to resonate and shift up and around through in every single directions of your spiritual light body and existence. Seen, unseen.
And I'm also interjecting here, putting this system that is normally used by the doctors. A patient healed is a customer lost. If you're still
Right.
operating under those rules,
It's all game
no go.
over.
Yeah.
Exactly. Every disease is a spiritual illness. And they will never tell you that. And it's, as time goes on, we're going to be doing more work in that area, just demonstrating how bloody easy it is. Right. With all souls, I'm going to give this wave of contract revocation on all levels for every single one of us that came into this reality and suffered at the hands of domination and control, died, living and dead. In these times, it's such perfect timing between the equinox and the next incoming section. Right, solstice. As of this day, I hereby decree all spiritual contracts, vows, promises, agreements, oaths, pledges, pacts, allegiances, loyalties, curses, spells made between us are cancelled and void in this life and all other lives, in this dimension and all other dimensions, in this universe and all other universes, in all timelines and grids. As of this day, I hereby decree all spiritual contracts, vows, promises, agreements, oaths, pledges, pacts, allegiances, loyalties, curses, spells made between us are cancelled and void in this life and all other lives, in this dimension and all other dimensions, in this universe and all other universes, in all timelines and grids. Take a deep breath. And just allow that to infuse through your physical body from the soul. And we're going in for the final round, soul groups. Really enjoy this. This is your freedom, your liberty. As of this day, I hereby decree all contracts, all spiritual contracts, vows, promises, agreements, oaths, pledges, pacts, allegiances, loyalties, curses, spells made between us are cancelled and void in this life and all other lives, in this dimension and all other dimensions, in this universe and all other universes, in all timelines and grids. We set ourselves and all others free. We set ourselves and all others free. We set ourselves and all others free.
Wow. That was powerful. That was the last nail.
That was. So, Psyops, if you try and reboot your system, what you will find is this. It has no parameters. So everything you say will be automatically filtered out and rejected on all levels of existence. Yes, yes. De nada. 15, how do they look? 17.
I don't know. It's like for them, they accept quite quickly. It's only the support structure that tries to fight it. It's like the 15, they know this game. They have been playing it for a long time. They understand the outcomes.
They
So,
do, but they can't get out.
yeah. But the problem is the support structure that is there that's quite clingy, comes with ridiculous ideologies and thinking and the way to stop it. But it's it's like a tree trying to float in the air without its roots and and the trunk. There's no support structure to help it. So the moment the head is gone, the entire thing crumbles. What I'm being shown, it's like this scene in Lord of the Rings, where Frodo throws the ring inside the that molten lava in the Mountain Doom, and then Saruman's eye crashes, and then these orcs that were thousands and thousands that could have easily crushed the humans started running off like headless chicken, and the ground starts to sink in every single position where they are. It's like the moment the head is gone, they lack direction and they start crumbling and among themselves. And this is what the people are seeing, because that support, that the 15, it's like they are somehow kind of detached because people are seeing them. And then when the support structure tries to come and reaffirm, people are rejecting it. And this is why even some governments are falling.
Hashtag just saying. So here at the Spiritual Court of Equity, we can achieve tremendous healing for humanity. Because at the end of the day, we just want to go home, spend time with our families, have a nice time, eat nice food. Let's get back to the kind of humane existence. I'm not saying switch off every bit of kit that you've got. I'm saying reset, the great reset of your spiritual experience in this body projection. And project yourself in this moment with your soul into this body that you have, because that's what you came here to do. It makes you more awake.
Yep.
You see with your light, you feel with your light, you hear with your light. And that's when we all turn into Neo from the Matrix. That's why most people love that film. So let me tell you now, that is possible. And on that happy note, I'm just going to say, Classo Comati, il panema wani. Any words there, Harrison?
No, I think we have already said what's supposed to be said.
Great.
And it's like we are done for today.
I know, I'm eating popcorn. I've been eating popcorn throughout this whole thing because it is literally like watching a movie play out.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's see. Okay, Michael, thanks for joining us. Maya Rose, thanks for joining us. Maya Rose, here are the tools to keep pushing it through. And it's all good. So to everybody that joins us today, past, present, and future, you are a powerful being of spiritual light. Keep projecting it into this world It's everywhere, and you will find your people. All right, so I'm giving thanks. I'm just going to knock off the connection and say, have a wonderful day, people. You are loved. Creator loves you. You are creator. Emanate.